Hello, it's been a little while since I've done a video. It's Monday the 2nd of December, and I have to say it's been the saddest day of my life. It's been absolutely horrible. Well, unfortunately, Daisy's not been very well for a while. I mean, she had a full health check in January. She was fine. She was losing weight. She was skinny. Everyone just put it down to age. The vets put it down to age. She was over 13 years old. So they put it down to age. She was losing weight, getting skinnier and skinnier. Okay, fair enough. And then last Wednesday, Daisy went to the groomers. I must admit, she was a little bit, she's always a bit funny with her food. Sometimes she just wouldn't eat for a day or so, and then we'd have to coax her back, and then she'd trough for a few days, get her appetite back, feel a bit stronger, then she'd get weaker again and she'd stop eating for a while, and we literally just put it down to age. That's what the vets told us in the past. It's just age, she's getting old, etc. Because she had a full bill of health. She had a blood test and everything back in January. So anyway, like I was saying, last Wednesday she went to the groomers, and the groomer was quite concerned because she noticed that she'd actually lost quite a bit of weight since her previous groom, which was 10 weeks ago. Anyway, halfway through the grooming, the groomer rang me up and said, "Carl, I'm really not happy to continue doing Daisy. Her tummy is really hard. She's got a really hard mass in her tummy." Now, I was unaware of this. It was up around the top section of her tummy, coming down from the rib cage. I was unaware of this. I rub her bottom tummy all the time and it didn't feel too bad. It's just normal, really. Sometimes it's skinny, sometimes it's harder, depending on how much she's at. But she wasn't happy with that. She suggested we take her to the vets. That was on the Wednesday. So anyway, we rang up the vets and we made an appointment. We went in and saw them on the Friday. Anyway, the vets took one look at her, felt her tummy and everything, and basically said that she's got some sort of tumour or mass, and it's very, very large. They also had a look at her. They could tell from like looking inside the eyelid, and also pulling her, what do you call it? Pulling her lips back. You can see her gums, and her gums were very, very white. And they said she had anemia as well. They said she was very, very weak. And what with the big mass inside her, they suggested that the only option was to put her down. They said they would have put her down there and then, but they knew it would be difficult for us. So they thought they'd book us in for the following day, which would have been the Saturday. Anyway, right away, I'm like, oh, I'm not having this. I'm not happy. I want to see how she goes. So we took her home anyway. We didn't make any arrangements to sort of put her down or anything like that. We were working. We took her to work with us. She laid down on her bed in work. We had customers in and out. She seemed pretty much her usual quiet self, quiet, low energy self. We thought, yeah, we'll show them. Anyway, Saturday we were working, and we were working really late as well. So we left her at home with our daughter, who's a big girl. She's like 27, so she's well capable of looking after Daisy. And she said Daisy ate really, really well for that day. She ate a load of turkey, and she had some farleys, and she seemed quite happy. Although in the evening when we come back in the evening at about midnight, she was waiting on the stairs for us. Her tail was wagging so frantically, it was causing a draft. I mean, from a little tiny Yorkshire Terrier, her tail was kicking up a breeze, I'll tell you. So we went home we went up to bed. We had a bit to eat and then went up to bed, and she snuggled down on the bed with us, but she wasn't right. She would snuggle down on the bed, and then she would just, like, every now and again, she would just stare into oblivion, looking all awkward, and I'd smooth her and tell her everything was all right. She wasn't really having any of it. Anyway, she went to bed. She woke up in the early hours of the morning, just not really herself, not herself at all. So we went downstairs about 4:30, had a cup of tea. And I think she had something to eat then, didn't she? I think she had a farley. I'm sure she had a farley followed by a bacon sizzler. So I thought, oh, maybe. So anyway, we went in, had a cup of tea, stayed there until about 5:45, something like that. Went upstairs, spent another hour and a half in bed, and got up about 7:30, something like that. And that was on the, what would that have been? That would have been on the On the Sunday. That would have been on the Sunday. Anyway, on the Sunday daytime, she was, we were at work again. So she was being looked after by our daughter again. Anyway, apparently we come home from work at about 4 o'clock, something like that. And she hadn't been herself all day. She just keeps staring blankly into nothingness. There's not much my daughter could do to settle her down. She just wasn't herself. Her back legs were getting a bit wonky. What can you do? So anyway, that was Sunday. Sunday evening, we spent Sunday evening with her again. She was terrible. She wasn't herself. She was looking into oblivion. She was shaking. We give her some Calpol. It calmed her down a little bit. All Sunday night, she was quite. I was lying with her. I was talking to her. I was trying to comfort her. I was doing my best, but she really wasn't herself. And I thought, you know, the vet's right. So this morning it's Monday. This morning I got up, vet's opened at 8 o'clock, so I thought I'd phone them up, see what's what. So I phoned them up, explained the situation, said the putting her to sleep option was available, but I wanted to talk through other options, which we'd already talked through before really, but I just wanted to be clear about everything. Oh yeah, we had the appointment there for 11:15. So we took her to the vet. She couldn't really walk, not really. She could stand, but she was wobbling all over the place. So, you know, I carried her to the car, and then we carried her into the vets, giving her lots of cuddles and that. Went in to see the vets. The same vet, beautiful lady called Danielle, absolutely lovely vet. Last 3 times we've seen the same vet each time. We actually asked for Danielle because she was such a lovely vet, and she obviously knew Daisy's history. And we did discuss the options. We did discuss, you know, lots of tests that could possibly be done, which would basically, she said the outcome would be exactly the same. She basically said that all the tests would do would be prolonging the inevitable. Then she'd have to be assessed by a surgeon to see whether the surgeon would actually want to do the operation, which in her opinion, he probably wouldn't anyway, because she was way too weak and she wouldn't survive the operation. So we weighed everything up, which was absolutely horrible. You know, do I say, yeah, do the test, do the scans? And it's just, if she's gone downhill that far in 3 days and she's suffering, what's she going to be like in a day or 2 or 3? I mean, she could barely survive the operation at the moment. And it was an absolutely horrible decision that me and Jackie had to make. It was backed up by the vet. She did think it was the best thing to do, seeing as Daisy was 13 and a half. So unfortunately, at about 10 past 12 today in the afternoon, Daisy was put to sleep, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. We took lots of photos while we were at the vet's. Jackie had her final cuddle. I looked at the time on the photograph, and I think it was 1 minute past 12 was the final cuddle. I'll show that picture now. So that was the final cuddle that Jackie had with Daisy at 1 minute past 12 today. And then I had a cuddle. I cuddled her for about 5 minutes. Then we put her on the table. I kneeled down. I got the back end. I was smoothing her, putting my head on her leg and her side. And Jackie was up front talking to her, and we were smoothing her. And they gave her the injection. And as you probably know, it is fairly instantaneous. And that's that. And that's that. No more pain, no more suffering, no more anything. It was absolutely heartbreaking. It was horrible. Then I picked Daisy up. And she was like a rag doll, but she was all warm and floppy. Just picked her up, cuddled her for a while. Breaking my heart I was, so was Jackie. It was absolutely horrible. Give her a cuddle, and then the vet took her off me. And everyone was crying, it was horrible. And then I'll give her another sort of like, it was hard to leave the room. It really was hard to leave the room. So I sort of like leaned forward and put my head on her and give her another little cuddle and felt her little tummy and that. And then we had no option. Then we just had to leave her. So we left her in the capable hands of the vets. Then they emailed us a load of like information about what you can do for, you know, cremation, etc., things like that. So we decided we were going to have this lovely urn, a lovely white urn. And white, is it white? Well, I think it says it's silver. It's silver with gold rims on it. So we're gonna get her individually cremated. So obviously we're just gonna get her ashes and nobody else's. And then we're gonna have her in this urn. And then we got like those little corner shelves in the bedroom. We got 3 shelves, and I cleared the middle one out in the corner of the room. And we're going to have like a little memorial thing. Now I'm going to put her ashes there. I'm going to have a couple of photos of her there. I'm going to put a little bow with her dog lead. And we've got her bed in the corner underneath. I've literally just printed off a big picture of her. So every time I just looking around the room, I keep catching the bed. Because initially I was catching the bed and it was empty, and it was like, it was horrible. So now when my eyes catch the bed, there's a big picture of Daisy's face, and because it's A4, it's almost life size. And I know it's not the real thing, and I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, but I find it a lot more comforting when I'm just in the bedroom looking around and I catch a sight of her face than when I don't catch a sight of her face. So I'll leave that one there for a little while. I've ordered some photo frames as well. So that photo that I've put in there, I'll put that in a frame, and I'm going to get some more printed off. But that's it, yeah. Poor Daisy, 13.5 years old, had to be put to sleep today. We're absolutely devastated. She was the absolute light of our life. She really was. The whole family, the kids, you know, we named our tea rooms after her. Daisy's Tea Rooms and Coffee Shop. We got pictures of her on our so you know, we got those sort of signs that you take outside, and they got like swing bits in them that swing, and we got like a little write-up on, and the picture of Daisy, probably from when she was about 2 years old, really, but it's such a cute picture, we just had to use it. So Daisy's Tea Rooms no longer has Daisy. We no longer have Daisy. Our hearts are broken. Literally, our hearts are broken. We feel like we can't function. We just can't. I'm talking to her constantly. Literally, I talk to her all the time. She follows me around the house. I'll talk to her. Hello, Daisy, you've been a good girl. What do you want to do? Oh, you want to go for a wee? You know, she's waiting up at halfway up the stairs. Oh, you waiting there for Daddy? Daddy's making a cup of tea. I says, you go on up to Mummy. Go on up to Mummy's bed, because that's what she does. When we're downstairs watching the telly, like with our tea, and then Jackie goes up to bed. Well, not to bed. She goes up to chill out in the bedroom when it gets to about 8 o'clock, something like that. Daisy don't like to leave either of us, so she goes halfway up the stairs and sits there with her head poking through the bar, watching me, but then she knows Jackie's up there as well. And then I'll put the kettle on, and especially if I've got to go to the loo as well, I'll go and say, I'll give her a smooth. I say, go on, Daisy, you go on Mummy's bed. Go on, you go on Mummy's dad. Daddy's making a cup of tea. She knew exactly what I was saying. She would. She'd go up. She'd say, all right then, Dad's told me it's okay. She'd go up to Mummy's bed. I'd make a cup of tea. I'd come up, and all 3 of us would chill out for the evening. So we both left, well, the whole family are left with a very, very, very huge hole in our hearts. And quite frankly, we ain't got a clue how we're going to cope. You done? Daisy, you having the water? You having a nice drink? She likes her water. What a good girl. What a good girl. Go on then. Go on then. Go on then. She says, what? I'm like, whatever.
Aniella's like perfect vet, hasn't she, God?
She's got some chicken. So actually she's got turkey, and she's got some chopped up sausage, and she jumped out of her bed and went right to it. Yesterday she didn't want to know any of it, and she already had a farley when she come home from work as well, so that's an amazing sign. She ain't going out without a fight. She's a good girl. Look at her little ears wobbling. She's a good girl. We love you, Daisy. Good girl. 5:30 in the morning, and she's had some water, and she's had some biscuits, and she's had a wee-wee. A good girl. Come on then. Where is she? There she is. What a baby. You're going to go in the front room. Going to go in the front room? Come on, darling. In the front room. In the front room. Go on then. In the front room. In the front room. In the front room. So, in your bed? You're going to go in your bed? What are you doing? Oh, let's put the light on. There. Should put you up there. Gonna sit on the sofa with Daddy. You're gonna sit on the sofa. Hey, good girl. Daisy. Daisy, good girl. Oh, there she is. What a good girl. Daisy. She's a good girl. She's a good little girl. Hey? Oh. Daisy just got down and got in her bed again because she likes her bed. That's her little bed that I made for her, didn't I? When we got a new sofa. So everyone else had a new sofa. This was like 12 years ago. I made that bed for her. So she had a new bed. Like a little chair I raised off the floor as well. Good girl. Look at her. Are you beautiful? Are you beautiful? She's a good girl. Now this is what we do every morning. Jackie, Daisy's mummy, she goes and has a shower. I make the bed and then I scoop Daisy up and we has a cuddle before we go down and make a cup of tea. Is that right, Daisy? We're going to have a cuddle and then we're going to make a cup of tea. Hey? What a good girl. Oh. Daisy, shall I get you? Shall we go downstairs and make a cup of tea? You're going to make a cup of tea? Stay there, Daddy, get you. Right, come on then. Let's go downstairs, make a cup of tea. Keep your head up. There. Jumping off me. There you go. See, she's still mad. She's still trying to jump off me. Because she's nutcase. Let's make a cup of tea. Oh. We've already been up once today. We got up at 5:30 or 5 o'clock for a wee-wee, and she had some biscuits and I had a cup of tea. Right, we're going to go out. You're going to go out, darling. You're going to do wee-wee. Come on then, out you go. You could do the wee-wee. You're going to do the wee-wee. You're going to do the wee-wee right there, and then I'll put a bucket of water over it. There, that's what I normally do. And I put some water over it. Good girl. Oh, look at that. Daisy's wee-wee. You're going to get a drink of water. Wait. Drink. Go and get some water. Where's your water? Go and have a drink of water. Is that your biscuits? Go and have some water. Go and have a drink. No. I'm going to change... Oh, there she goes. I knew you'd want a drink. No? I'm going to change your biscuits, give you some fresh ones. This is what else she likes. A Farley's with a little bit of milk. Just like a baby. Mash it all up. Mash it all up. There we go. Fit for a baby. Fit for a baby. Are you interested in that? You're looking very interested. Should we go and have a look? There you go. Oh, how's that? She wants that. It's a good girl. What a good girl, Daisy. Farley's Rusk for babies. There, she's eating that, no problem. What a good girl. Of course, you both that one down. That's a good girl. I think there's about 60, 70 calories in a Farley. So, I'd say that'll help fatten her up. I don't think she's going to get fat at this stage because she's all bones, but that'll keep her going for a bit longer. It's a good girl. Well, we got to go work today and we got the kids home, so they're going to look after Daisy. So in the fridge, there's a Caesar. So if somebody wants to try her on the Caesar, because I've done that for her yesterday and she didn't want it, so I put it back in the fridge. And we got a pot of roast turkey in there, so they can put a little bit of roast turkey on a plate and try warming that for her too. And then we got more dog food and we got chicken in the freezer and biscuits, but she's not eating much at the moment, so. There she is. She says, I'll have it. Now, these are what she's liked her entire life, so let's see if she fancies one this morning. Let's get one out of the bag and see if she fancies it. Does she fancy it? Wow, if she takes it, that's good. It's a good girl. We like those, don't we? Sizzlers. Is she going for it? What a good girl. What a good girl. Sizzlers. Bacon sizzlers, isn't they beautiful? Just like Daisy. We all like bacon in this house, apart from Jackie. She's not a big fan of it. Good girl, Daisy. Here we are again, back on Mummy's bed, Daisy's favourite place apart from the bus. She loves Mummy's bed. She also loves coming to work with us. Daisy's tea rooms. So it's our tea rooms and she loves it. Good girl. Oh, you beautiful girl. Hello, baby boy. What do you have done? It's our Daisy. Look at her. Good night, Daisy. Love you, sweetheart. Good night, sweetheart. See you in my dreams. See you in my prayers. Good night, darling. Love you. Now use the rest of the soap.
That's Dabs!
No, it's not.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Someone can get rid of that jug in case it gets knocked, please. Thank you.
She's
Better do it back
Do you need
end.
a towel? Not yet.
I might stimulate her and make her fucking take a dump on my hand. No,
I'm trying to
sweetheart.
own it.
She says, I'm never going to forgive you for this. I know.
Why? I need to open the window.
Oh, watch out. Don't know it's darting out. Ready? Come on. Let's rinse her off.
Yeah, because we need to get it nice and dry for Karen come in.
Oh, is Karen coming now?
She's only going to pop in for 5 minutes.
Misty wants to come back in now to see what's going on.
She was going. What was I saying? Move over there.
She's a little wiggly thing.
I shouldn't. You always try to wind them up.
Come on. Sit down. Sit down. Right, so now I'm going to just pour a cup over her head. Oh, no. It'll rinse her soap off. Yeah, I know.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah, I know. That's alright, done anyway. It needed rinsing, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pour this down her back and get. I need to cuddle her for a while after
Yeah,
so she knows I'm
definitely.
not the evil
Yeah.
one. And I'll tell you what, if you could get one of those treats out,
Alright.
we need to get her collar on as well and take her out because there's no way stimulate her and make her shit.
Oh, did you buy her special treats as well?
Yeah.
Do you want the towel?